The Air Support Unit of the Wisconsin Department of Transportation's Division of State Patrol is a highly trained group of sworn officers who also are licensed pilots. They stand ready to fly missions throughout the state, using aircraft based in Madison, Eau Claire, and Green Bay. Sergeant Ryan Chaffee explains the capabilities and roles of Air Support Unit pilots while flying a mission above a Wisconsin highway.
The Wisconsin State Patrol Air Support Unit is involved in a number of different missions and operations throughout the state. We are a service that not only is utilized for the State Patrol itself, but for also other outside agencies, local, municipal, county, and other state and federal agencies at their request. We're utilized for operations that consist of traffic enforcement details, search and locate operations, photographs from the air for mapping evidentiary purposes of crash scenes and crime scenes, natural disaster response, planning for large events, for traffic control, ingress, egress routes, incident command structure, planning. Anytime an aircraft can be utilized for a law enforcement function, we try to get the aircraft airborne because of the unique vantage point that it provides. Traffic enforcement consists of 30 to 40% of our operations, but the rest we break up evenly throughout the other operations that I've discussed. Counter-drug operations, surveillance, search and locate, photographs, response to national disasters and traffic control. Obviously, when we're dealing with aerial traffic enforcement, we need an aircraft. We need a trained and capable, proficient pilot to operate that aircraft, and we need cooperating patrol officers on the ground. In addition to those players, we also need aerial enforcement zones, which consist of markings throughout the state on our highway system. Those marks are 1/8 of a mile between, or 660 feet. We utilize a VASCAR speed computer. VASCAR stands for Visual Average Speed Computer and Recorder. And basically the VASCAR system is just a stopwatch that is being utilized, which is calculating the speeds of vehicles based on distance over time. We measure the time that it takes a vehicle to travel between the two marked locations of the predetermined distance, and the VASCAR outputs a speed based on distance divided by time. Once we establish a speed of a vehicle, we can then radio a description of that vehicle down to our cooperating ground units until that officer has the vehicle pulled over to the side of the road. We are starting to announce our traffic enforcement operations through social media, through Twitter, and also through advanced warning signs on the roadway, portable message signs that indicate air enforcement zone ahead. And we do that in order to gain voluntary compliance from the motoring public. Our goal is not to issue more traffic tickets. Our goal is to reduce the types of driving behaviors that lead to the fatality and injury-related crashes that are occurring on our highway system. During a typical aerial traffic enforcement operation, the pilot is looking for any type of aggressive driving behaviors that tend to often contribute to accidents on our highways, injury-related crashes, fatal crashes. Those types of activities include speeding, following too close, aggressive driving behaviors such as weaving and cutting in and out of traffic, reckless driving. As you can see from this vantage point, a pilot in the air has a larger field of vision and is able to observe a larger portion of the traffic all at once. Conversely, an officer on the ground can only observe those types of violations that he can see from that specific vantage point. In doing so, we can observe those types of behaviors, like I mentioned earlier, the aggressive driving behaviors, the following too close violations, the types of behaviors that occur not just instantaneously, but over a period of time, weaving in and out of traffic, cutting other cars off, things of that nature, passing on the shoulder. These are all types of violations that a pilot can observe through the vantage point of looking down on traffic from above. To become a pilot within the Wisconsin State Patrol Air Support Unit, you are required to possess, at a minimum, an FAA certified private pilot certificate with a minimum number of hours. Once in the unit, then you'll be trained for additional ratings, such as instrument ratings, commercial ratings, and then you will receive mission-specific training, missions such as traffic enforcement that we're doing today, and also surveillance of moving targets, stationary targets, things of that nature.